Hey guys, in this episode we're going to be going over the progress on the M3 as well as showing you guys some of the cool stuff that I'm installing for this last race and the next season. Stay tuned. Alright guys, it's Columbus Day and this weekend I have made some really good progress on the M3. We are going back together with the rear subframe and the diff, and the front we got some issues that I'll show you guys. But here we can see we got everything has been repainted or sanded, repainted, refinished, and it looks really good, subframe and everything. So we got these new Bemmer World spherical bushing bearing arms. Those are new. We have solid subframe mounts. We also have, let's see, there is no rubber left in this car. Everything is a bearing, you can see in there. These are OEM, but the lower ones didn't used to be this bearing type. They used to be rubber. So we replaced the new OEM ones for top and bottom. Then we also have a bearing up in here. We had to re-weld the reinforcement plates in here, or not re-weld, but weld in the reinforcement plates. So we did that, and it's now been undercoated and prepped. I do have to seam seal the back end here where we couldn't get the welder in. We might eventually drop the gas tank and weld that up, but you only need to do 75% of those by Bemmer World's directions. We also have some new hub and new bearings. Those feel really good, and we have new studs to go in here. And let's see, what else? We have this cool M3 lightweight X brace that goes here and mounts up to the front subframe. And then this is the piece de resistance. This differential. This is the first. This is by Diffs Online. This is their race differential. Our car is the first one to receive his version of the race differential. Is custom everything. It's very expensive, but he said it will be crazy how fast we can accelerate out of corners and how it locks up. We also have to combat the heat. We have this Rogue Engineering diff cover, and so this will be good for the 20-minute HPDE sessions. If we start hot lapping it like dual duty or longer races, then we're gonna have to put in a diff cooler and a pump to combat that. But so that's going on today. I got the gasket right there. I had to run out and get some seam sealer, or not some seam sealer, some gasket maker to make it so this sensor doesn't leak, because, well, we don't have a replacement one for that. So I put a new O-ring in it, but just to combat it leaking again like it did, I'm going to put some gasket maker all in that. Now I'll show you the front control arms that we now have to reorder, because ground control seems to have mismade these or something, because this went on, not without a fight, because this is the install tool, and you can see with the hammer to hammer that sleeve onto the control arm took a lot of force, and it deformed the tool they sent. But even after we sanded this down, and this bearing, offset bearing bushing, would not go on any farther than that. We tried hammering the hell out of it and it would not go on. So we had to order new control arms again, because I just put these on. And so we're putting new control arms, and either going to try contacting ground control later today when they open, or just go back to the poly ones that were fine. Because yeah, those were a bitch. Like you can see this one, you can see where we tried to put on the other one, and that's as far as it got. And yeah, there's just something, it's spread it. You can kind of feel it and see it a little bit. It's like wider right up here. So I don't think we were ever gonna get those on. All right guys, so that's all the new stuff that I will be installing on the M3 this weekend. We have Summit Point at the end of the month, and that's what I'm prepping the car for. If not, The Cayman is getting wrapped next week, which stay tuned for that, because that wrap that me and the sponsor, I got the car sponsored, so that's really cool. But the wrap that me and the sponsor picked out is epic. I'm really excited to get the car looking good again after the deer hit, and I'm really excited to show you guys this wrap. It is just crazy, crazy cool, and I can't wait to have it out on track and get I can't wait to drive the car, because like I said, after that deer hit, it's just been sitting here in the shop for what, 3 or 4 months now, and I've only got to drive it up and down the driveway to keep the engine lubed up, so I don't have any problems with it. But so I'm excited to get that back, and next week is the time it'll finally get the wrap. And then I have a deep sump kit that I'm buying. It's by LM or LN Engineering, just for some peace of mind, because the 987 is known, even though it has OEM baffles, it is known under race conditions with super sticky tires to oil starve. So that's just a peace of mind. It doesn't matter how much it costs, because that engine is a 20 grand engine if you have to replace it. So this kit costs like $800 to $1,000. That's well worth the safety factor, is to protect this high mileage engine. Now, granted, like I said, it's a high mileage engine. It's got 110,000 miles on it, but I really don't want to replace that engine. Even if I did have to replace it, probably I might swap it, because there's some kits out there you can do an LS swap in a Cayman that would just piss a lot of people off, and I think that would be really cool to do. But we're not going to cross that road just yet. I hope that engine stays together for however long, and I can get lots of miles out of it. As long as you take care of the Porsche engines, they're usually pretty good, and that one's been very well taken care of before I got it. So I'm excited to get that done and get that on the car. All right, guys, it's the end of the night on Columbus Day, and well, we got to order more parts. We found some stuff that was missing and some stuff that just needed replacing, so I'll show you guys that. This is a control arm that we talked about earlier. We just went ahead and ordered a new one because we screwed up that boot trying to get it off. And well, these things are not going on. So we're talking to Bimmerworld right now, who will talk to ground control and find out what the hell is wrong with these things, because they should not go on that hard. Like, well, they just won't go on, period. So we'll see what happens with those. Coming back here, we got some ECS poly diff bushings. I really like these. They got a really nice metal insert that goes in them. So I really like these. Got the diff installed. She's probably weighs like 100 pounds. It's ridiculous how heavy that diff is. Had to do it on the ground instead of doing it up in the air like this, because well, I didn't want to break this $5,000 diff, that's ridiculous. But hopefully this diff is worth that 5 grand, which it should be. But on to what we were missing in the parts we had to order. It seems when we took the old diff to Diffs Online up in Massachusetts, we gave them accidentally all the diff bolts and the little flanges here, so we had to order new ones of those. And then we also found that the dust boots here, a little dry rotted. You can't see that, but they're dry rotted, so we ordered 2 replacement kits, 1 for each axle. And last but not least, we will be replacing the front bearings too, since we're doing all the rears, and we needed new dust covers for this. Oh, and I guess we probably should have ordered a new nut. That's unfortunate. So yeah, we'll get 2 new ones of those too, and we'll be good to go. So we're going to end that video on the M3 not being finished. Hopefully we'll have it done in time for Summit, because I don't know if I'll get that sump kit I was talking about earlier in for the Porsche. The Porsche will be wrapped, like I said earlier, so technically I could take it to Summit Point, but if not, then I could also take the Z, which has those new brakes, so that's ready for the track. So all in all, either way, I'm signed up for Summit Point, excited to go to that and get my TT license. If I didn't mention that before, I signed up and to get my TT license checked out and do all the paperwork, so next season I'll be ready to do time trials. So I'm really excited for that. And my time trial car will be the Porsche. That is the plan for it. We're gonna build it for a street spec. So just have like basic coilovers, or not basic, I'm gonna do some redshift coilovers. The widest tires that I am allowed. And build it for more than one time trial spec. So it'll be like NASA, GLTC, street, and SECA time trials. So yeah, I'm excited to get this thing on the road. Just to drive it. I don't even need to do time trials with it. I just want to drive the damn thing. Because it's my first Porsche, and I'm really excited for it. So yeah, so stay tuned for this. And we'll check you guys out next time. Thanks, bye.